Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. And for today's discussion, we are going to discuss our topic, which is the 3 P's of presentation, which are the plan, prepare, and present.
The setting your objectives. It is the first step in the planning part when you must know the purpose of your presentation, the learnings that you may convey to your audience, the materials you will use in order to present your presentation well, and lastly, the flow on your presentation. So in this, you must set your objectives and the steps on how to make your presentation successful.
In doing our presentation, we should set objectives about what is our flow, goal, and purpose. Whether you're going to educate, to entertain, to give awareness, or to give information. And also, what would be the things that the audience will learn after your presentation, and the things that you are going to prepare in order for you to achieve a successful presentation.
We will discuss about evaluation your audience. What the profile of your audience will also influence the format, content, and style of your presentation other than age, gender, and educational attainment. You also need to consider religious and political beliefs, attitude, and preference of the audience. From the word evaluate your audience, simply defined as you need to know your audience, his and her educational attainment, or more related about herself and himself. You need to know more about the person, everything about his belief. For example, while making a bibliography for someone, it contained about the background of herself, same as this audience. That's all. Thank you.
Evaluating your audience. In doing our presentation, we should know the profile of our audience because they also influence the format and style of our presentation. We should be considerate. We should consider the different religious practices, cultures, attitude, and preferences to avoid misunderstanding and misinterpretation. We should make sure that our presentation will not sound offensive to them.
Evaluating your context. The evaluator is when you produce an appearance that is the more likely to use understand the context of decision making. To evaluate to establishment the value or worth of someone or something. An example, if you are prepared the presentation in an area that is noisy and so bother to you to deliver your presentation, you need to evaluate the area and determine how you could present it. Even if you have challenge in that area, you need to strategy to present your presentation so that everyone will understand.
Good noon, everyone. So this is a continuation that my group mates have given. A topic is all about prepare the content, which stated here that it is a similar to writing academic papers. We know when we're in our senior high school, this was already tackled. That is all about what is academic papers. So the content of presentation are include the introduction, body, and conclusion. You can make a paper without this. For example, an essay, or you can complete the essay if you don't have introduction in your topic, then body, and so the conclusion, it should be start as positive impression. While doing your papers, your introduction should not be lengthy. It should discuss properly what is your topic, then discuss is all about state everything in your body and so on. You should not put a negative fact about your conclusion. Much better if you will revise it or review, and after that understand and wait for the audience to question.
Preparation. We should prepare the content of our presentation, including the introduction, body, and conclusion. We should establish a positive impression at the start. And remember that the introduction should not be protected excessively. And one thing, before, during, and after scribbling your presentation, back to your objectives and check what part of your presentation do you need to expand and shorten.
Visual aids are to enhance and not to distract the presentation. Hence, it is very important that you choose an appropriate material. Does your presentation need to be very textual? Do you need hands-out, figures, charts, or graphs? Consider the following font size and style: color, background, animation or transition, images, time allotment for each slide or part of presentation. Visual aid is very important. If you are reporting or presentation, having a visual aid in the presentation is very advantage than others without visual. Okay, the importance of visual is not to distract representation, which means you can explain by follow visual from top to bottom. And also your font size not too small and not too big, as long as the reader can read and understand. And you can also use the proper materials in the presentation. And you can set your time presentation in each slide or part or presentation. And in other words, visual aids are visual materials such as pictures, charts, and diagrams that help people oral presentation. When giving a speech or presentation, a speaker communicates information orally.
Prepare the visuals. We all know that the visuals is so important in the presentation. It can help or it make your presentation more interesting. It can catch or grab the attention of the audience, and it can help the audience to understand your presentation. That's why you should make sure that your visual is a good to the eye of your audience.
Preparing yourself for a presentation. So, to help plan your content and to make sure you stay on track as yourself while you're putting the presentation together and what you're hoping to achieve. So, you can make detailed notes as part of your planning, but really on the day. So, as reading from prepared text sounds unnatural. So, at the planning stage, you also need to consider to the timing and your presentation. Time limits are set for a reason. So, falling short or going to over this limit will likely result in a loss of marks. So, especially it is a part of a assessment or exam. So, it is also a good idea to prepare answer to possible questions, and you may be asked also the presentation.
Hi Miss, I am Dennis Nuela from Biz Criminology Night A. I am one of the presenter of a Pulis TAGAY. In continuations of what my groupmates discusses, I will discuss the present. Then if you are a presenter now, you must go to the venue early as much as you can in order for you to check the multimedia projectors or tools, what we call tools for your visuals, and in order for you to have time to prepare for your presentations, or for you to have time to reviews or all the slides or the sit-ups, flows, and etc. Then if you are a presenter, of course you must find the comfortable corner or persons that you were looking while you were discussing. Then wala mo pati English ito. Then you must take note. You must balance the distribution of attentions to your audience. Then more important tips for your presentations, you must need to be emphasized or specific. You must be specific on your presentations. For example, you are giving by the topic of deforestations. You must put on your slides that the causes. You must include to your slides the causes, effects of deforestations, and the solutions of deforestations, or the why people are most caused of deforestations. More infos. You must include more infos important. Then in order for you to you must be specific in order for you to provide exact informations to your, or specific informations to your audience. And of course your audience because you are specific on your discussions about your presentations, of course your audience will understand your presentations easily.
Let's have for example of preparation. When we are applying a specific job, an interview, we will have an interview at first. So in order to get this job, we must prepare. So many people, in fact, the vast majority, do not prepare for interviews. When I say the vast majority, I mean 80% of all people who go along for interview have not thoroughly prepared for it. If you don't prepare, you may as well not go along. There's absolutely no point in turning up in the first place because you will not get the job. So when you get interview, prepare properly for it. It's the very first thing you really must do. If 80% of the people who go for an interview haven't prepared, then simply by preparing thoroughly, you automatically find yourself in that 20% who have a chance of getting the job. The other 80% haven't got a hope in hell. So how important it is to prepare?